So, first impressions, I quite like swinging it around, and it makes a noise when you are moving the sword and you have the correct alignment at the edge. You can actually hear a bit of a swish, which is quite nice to have that. Certainly it helps you when you are practicing your forms to think about edge alignment in terms of actually cutting as opposed to just waving it around randomly. The tassel also swishes as it's flying through the air, but I think it's too long for me. I don't know much about tassels, so I'm going to do some research. What are they for? And how long should they be? And perhaps also how heavy they should be, because this one feels quite heavy. And it banged me in the eye. Not the tassel bit, that banged me a lot, but the actual ball bit hit me in the eye, which I feel like is probably a little bit dangerous. But I don't know if this one is too big or too long, or maybe I just don't understand what it's for. I think it adds like a counterbalance to the sword and helps to balance the handle perhaps. And when you're turning it, maybe that's one of the reasons to have the tassel. I think I read somewhere something about the tassel and the sash helps to balance the sword when you're turning it. But for me, it gets caught around my wrist, it gets tangled around my hand. I feel like it gets in the way when I'm turning the sword, and then it also hits me in the face. So I'm gonna have a look and do some research and find out if it's my form and my technique and I need to improve, or if perhaps this particular tassel that was supplied with this particular sword is not the right kind. It looks like something you would hang from your curtains. So I don't know anything about it, and I'm going to research and find out a bit more. But in terms of moving it, I think it's got a really nice feeling. I'm happy with the weight. I'm happy with the sound that it makes and the feedback that I get from it. I think that this handguard is much nicer to hold than on the plastic telescopic jian, because that one is very wide and very thick. This one is more slim. I think it's modeled more like a real training sword would be. So it's got that better way of holding it, which I still don't completely know. Some more research I need to do about how I'm supposed to hold this. I've seen people hold it very high as opposed to just on the handle. But it's possible to wrap your hand around it, whereas the plastic handle on the other one, it's too wide. But just some first impressions with a first swing. I'm worried about this. But I like the feeling, and I like the weight, and I like the sound that it makes. So I think that we are going to get along quite well.